Okay, hello and welcome to my next narrated battle against Lucario of Light from the Pokebeach forums. Now this was to test the team I wanted to use in the finals of the Pokebeach Wi-Fi tournament, so this is only uploaded for public viewing once that has been finished. Now I'll apologise for the lack of battles recently as well, but there hasn't really been many competitive games that I've been able to play which haven't ended in luck sacks against me as well, unfortunately. Now, he leads with Porygon Z against GLISCOR, and I don't fancy taking special attacks with GLISCOR, so I'll take them with Umbreon instead. Dark Pulse does nothing at all, which is great, despite his download, but he obviously doesn't have a choice item because he Thunderbolts me and paralyzes me with the next move. Paralysis isn't too bad for Umbreon though, especially when you have Rest, and it's very bad for Porygon Z, so that's all good. If his item was Focus Sash, it no longer matters because of my payback, and seeing the respectable damage it did, I decided I would have a go at another one, but that might have been slightly naive, especially with something like Lucario coming in. Now, it isn't the Swords Dance one, thankfully, but it is a special attacking one. You don't usually see that, so that's quite cool. And I didn't know if that was Specs or Scarf or, anything in general, but it isn't Life Orb, and I'm free to U-turn on this move. I go to Mismagius so that I can cripple and hopefully set up on this GLISCOR here. And it takes me a turn to do so because I missed with the original Will-O-Wisp, which is annoying. But his Ice Fang doesn't do ridiculous damage and it doesn't freeze me, so I'm fine with a second turn hit instead. The task is still accomplished. I can quite freely set up on this GLISCOR now because it's really not doing any damage to me. So I get a Calm Mind as he switches to Charizard. Which was a bit of an odd move because Charizard is slower than Mismagius and quite a lot of Missies will have Thunderbolts. This one included because I don't have Hidden Power Fighting. So he actually gets wrecked by T-Bolt on his first move with Charizard, and it doesn't do any damage at all. Lucario happens to be a Choice Scarf one, however, so it gets the jump on Mismagius, but it doesn't kill thanks to me having +1 special defense, and Lucario unfortunately doesn't die to my Thunderbolts either. But now that I know it's Scarfed, I'll quite happily go to Heatran so that I can absorb his hit. Take a special defense loss at the same time, but I didn't notice that during the game. Now he goes out to Torterra, which is an extremely weird switch into a fire type, but I was double switching expecting something big like Vaporeon or, a bulky water switch. But he actually, goes to Torterra, which is slower than Breloom and doesn't switch for absolutely ages. So I get 2 bulk ups whilst he's still sleeping, and I can proceed to basically 2-hit KO or 1-hit KO his entire team now. Even with Staraptor reducing my attack with Intimidate, it doesn't matter because it's still 2-hit KO'd. Now, as you probably know, a neutral Mach Punch is the same attacking damage as a resisted Seed Bomb, so Mach Punch on the second shot kills it without me taking any damage. Lucario comes in and of course gets wasted by its weakness, which is Mach Punch. Porygon Z comes in and it doesn't matter which of the 2 moves I use here, it's wasted either way because of paralysis, but Mach Punch is super effective, so it gets cool points. Now this is why I wanted to burn GLISCOR earlier, because GLISCOR now can't touch me at all. With me having double my defense and it having half of its attack, it only does 32 damage with a super effective Ice Fang. And I can't be frozen because I'm already poisoned, which is, brilliant. That's what is so good about Breloom. It doesn't necessarily take hits all the time, but this particular variant does, and it can't be statused in the meantime, because it already has a status. I don't know why Seed Bomb 2-hit KO'd actually. Maybe it's a more offensive spread, or more speed-based spread at least, but I didn't expect it to 2-hit. But Torterra is his last Pokemon, and I lost my attention span here, so I actually spored when he was still asleep. I have 2 grass moves, and I just clicked on it more or less at random, and that failed. But his Wood Hammer doesn't really do too much to me. he survives this seed bomb and gets a crit earthquake, but because I resist ground anyway, it doesn't really matter. You know, it would have been a 2-hit KO if he had the second shot and the second crit, but he doesn't have either, so it's all good. I seed bomb to finish it off, and that's the game. Swept by Breloom, I guess. Power to the mushroom. Now it's a 6-0 finish, and good game, Lucario of Light. Thank you guys for watching. You know, rate, comment, whatever you feel like really, and I'll see you next time. Take care.